Well. We had a glitch last week where, I don't know, the internet cut out on me. What's up with that? I have no idea. But today we are live and we're talking about finding joy every day. And we're going to get to it in just one moment. Hello. Welcome to Stress Talk Live. This is the place where we help women over 40 to live healthier lives through strategic stress management, solution focused self care, and gratitude. Welcome. Um, wow, this has been a week, hasn't it? Well, it has been for us. A few days ago, we were experiencing winter, and now we are experiencing summer, although it's spring. And the pollen is like off the charts, crazy high. So I have like draining sinuses and dripping, and my eyes are all dry. And oh, it's something. It's something. However, we're not here to talk about that. We're talking about joy. And my question to you is what if joy isn't something that we chase? What if it's something that we practice? And so we're going to be talking about um, strategies, secrets, ways to find joy in our experience, joy in our lives. So, without further ado, let's just get to it. I want to share with you a few of the things that I'm going to be talking about today. We are talking about finding joy every day. And I'm going to share with you three strategies. And in addition to those strategies, I'm going to talk about um, what the big idea around that strategy is, as well as what the strategy is. So you're going to get several things. You're going to get the secret, the big idea behind it, and the strategy. I feel like I'm a little rusty. I am a little rusty. So let me get into my groove here. We are talking about hi there, Ebony. It's good to see you. Welcome. I am talking about joy. Are you experiencing joy in your life? If not, stick around because that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to share some things about how you and me, how we can experience joy every day. Okay. All right. So, first things first. Let me get my. All right. I like that. Okay. So, let's talk about what joy is. What is everyday joy? When I talk about everyday joy, I'm talking about those micro moments, those moments that are just woven into every day. It's not like, we expect to have a birthday party. When you have a birthday party, um, I don't know who the wolves are. Wolves where? Tell me where. Where are the wolves? I don't know where they are. Tell me where you are, okay? Because I have no idea. I don't know who you talking about. Who are you talking about? Let me know, okay? And I'll give you a shout out. But I want to know who the wolves are since it's your first football game. Oh, in Utah. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Good luck, Wolves. We want you to bring it on home. We want you to bring it on home. Okay. All right. In Utah, the Wolves in Utah. All right. All right. Let me get back. Let's get back so we can get through. So the Wolves in Utah, will win their game, and maybe we can hear what the outcome was. Okay. Okay. So it's those micro moments. We get real excited, like when we have a big party or a big event, and we feel joy. But what about those very small moments throughout our day? That's what I'm talking about. Everyday joy. Also, I want to kind of share with you real quickly. There's a difference between pleasure and joy. Pleasure is something that's temporary, but joy is something that's sustainable and it's rooted. It has deep roots. It's not something that comes and goes. It's something that is sustainable and it's long lasting. One of the things that, if you're a woman over 40, it's really hard to maintain joy because, first of all, you have a lot of responsibilities, right? Lots of responsibilities. Um, Around the age of 40, maybe 50, that's when we're at that peak of having to take care of other people. We're taking care of children or children who are emerging adults. We're taking care of aging parents. We may be in a place where we're supporting a spouse or a partner. And so we really, really, really are under a lot of pressure to make sure everybody is okay. And then on top of it, if you are a working woman, there's a lot of pressure around your careers. Okay, careers, advancement, maintaining your job and your work, doing a good job, all of that is on top of that. Add to it, as we age, we go through a lot of hormonal changes. So it affects our mood, it affects our ability to bounce back, our resilience. And that's another factor that women over 40 have to contend with. And then, last but not least, we tend to neglect ourselves. When we're making sure and taking care of others, when we're trying to maintain a career or grow a career, when we are dealing with aging and the shifting hormones in our body, we tend to neglect ourselves. We stop doing the things that we did to take care of ourselves when we were younger and without all of those responsibilities. So, what we want to make sure is that we are maintaining joy. We're finding joy, maintaining joy, because joy is what's going to activate our parasympathetic nervous system. And as you know, because I talk about it all the time, our parasympathetic nervous system is that relaxation mode. It's when our sympathetic nervous system is very active. That's when we are in fight or flight. But we want to make sure we're in relaxation mode, which is our parasympathetic nervous system. And when we experience joy, that's when that system, the parasympathetic nervous system, is active. So I want to share with you a few things about a few answers, and I'm going to call them answers, strategies, answers that will help you and me find and maintain joy. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the perfect answers, because I've promised you the happy woman's perfect answer for stress. Okay, so the first answer, the first secret is we practice the habit of noticing. Noticing. And the big idea around this is that um, joy is present in the things that we notice and not necessarily in the things that we acquire. So this is it really goes without saying, but I will say it. You can have a house on a hill. You can have millions of dollars. You can have, yeah, that's right. You can have, yes, Ebony, that's correct. You can have lots of things, um, material assets, but those things are temporary. They don't last. They're not, they don't last. And so if we want to maintain joy, we want to look at the things that we notice. We want to pay attention. One of the things that we know is women are happier when they train themselves to pause and notice the beauty in ordinary moments. Now, I know that sounds trite, but it's so very true. It is so very true. When you um, when you notice a flower, when you pass by and you notice roses, red roses, they may be very beautiful, and to smell them, that's a moment. That is really a moment that's worth noticing, and that can bring you joy. When you see your child and they smile at you just because you're there, not because you're doing anything or giving them anything, that's a moment of joy. When you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, dang, I laid my eyelashes perfectly, or I got those eyebrows on just right, that's a moment of joy. It's pausing and noticing the beauty. All of this is rooted in mindfulness. And I've talked about mindfulness a lot, but in mindfulness, we take time to notice. It's like pausing. And it calms us down. It activates the parasympathetic nervous system. When we are anxious, our minds scan, our minds scan for for threats. When we're anxious, our minds scan for threats. It's constantly looking for threats. However, when we can rest in joy, our minds actually look for those things that cause us joy. So, here's a strategy that you can use to help with the noticing habit. And I call this the three good things ritual. Okay, three good things ritual. Every evening, write down three specific things that brought you joy. And it could be small things, a hug, laughter, the glow of the sunshine or light through a window, a warm cup of coffee or tea, anything that brought you joy. Again, it doesn't have to be anything major, just something that brought you joy, and be very specific. Yes, Ebony, be very specific. Then what I'd like you to think about um, is I want you to do this like for a month, 21 days. Now, there are about 21 work days in a month, so do it every weekday for a month. And what that does is it helps the brain rewire, because we can rewire our brain. Scientists have found that neuroscientists know that when the brain is injured, if it's injured in one place, it it rewires around that injury so that there's new neural pathways and all of that. It just goes around it. So we can rewire our brain. Um, it's not just saying it was a good day. It's the smell of my coffee at 7 a.m. really made me happy. Tasting my green tea really made me happy. These are very important moments. So, drop in the comments, if you will, what's one small thing that brought you joy this week? One small thing that brought you joy this week. This one thing. Share it with us. I'd love to see it. Love to see it. So, practice the 3 good things ritual for 21 days, once every evening for a month. Okay. Second secret I'm going to share with you. Okay. Here, Ebony said going to school and having fun with her friends. Isn't that great? Isn't it? First of all, you're with your friends. I'm sure you're laughing. I'm sure you're talking. And I'm sure just being with them, just their presence, being in that physical space brings you joy. I think that's wonderful, Ebony. I think it's great. It's fabulous. Okay, let's talk about secret number 2. And these are, again, the happy woman's perfect answer for stress. You want to protect, you want to have an, a ritual that you do. And this is a ritual that should be protected. And I'm calling it a ritual, but it could also be, you could also call it a habit. The idea is that women who are happy have one ritual that belongs only to them. They don't share it with anybody else. It's nobody else's thing, it's their thing only. It's something that they don't negotiate, it's non negotiable, it's unhurried, and it's very simple. And when I'm talking about a ritual, I'm not talking, or a habit, I'm not talking about a big thing like going on vacation or going to the spa. Um, I'm talking about something that's really small, not even getting your nails done. Although getting your nails done is really a big thing. It's nice, it's wonderful, and it is relaxing. What I'm talking about though is something that anchors you and says to your nervous system, I matter. I'm important. For example, you might go on a walk without listening to anything, but just being in nature, just going for a walk. You might also um, cook a meal, just something that's very simple, or have a candle, light a candle. For me, my ritual, my habit is to have a cup of green tea. I have a cup of green tea. Yeah, it is, right? That's right, Ebony. It's so simple, something very simple but tangible. I have a cup of green tea around 8:30 every morning. That's like my big thing because I love tea, but having that cup for me, it's it gets me into the day. So when we feel stressed, when life is pretty chaotic, we want to pull out that habit so that we can create a sense of predictability as well as safety. And your small, ordinary ritual does that. So, here's a strategy. Oh, wow. Okay. So, Ebony says that she has a snack after she's done taking a nap. You know what, Ebony? You really know how to take care of yourself. That's a great idea. First, you take a nap, and if you can cat nap, I'm not somebody who can cat nap, but for someone who can cat nap, take a short nap and then take a snack, eat a snack. I think that's great. You're coming up with wonderful ideas. I hope whoever's listening and watching this podcast will take those things into account. Take a nap. That's really fabulous. Just take a nap. So here's what I want you to do. Also, Ebony, you have your ritual, your habit. I'd like for those of you who are watching or listening, come up with 10 minute ritual or 10 minute habit that you can commit to doing every day. And preferably in the morning, but it doesn't have to be in the morning. Like I said, I drink a cup of green tea every morning around 8:30. That's just my thing, but it gets me going. Come up with 10 minute habit that you can commit to every day. You know, there's no rules to this. Oh, here are the rules. No productivity. It's not doing your habit while you're working. You're taking 10 minutes for yourself exclusively. No productivity, no screens, and no agenda. Excuse me. It's all restorative. Oh, okay. You're doing it every evening. Good, good, good. Yes, do it every evening. It's restorative time. The 10 minutes is all restorative. So, what you also want to do, you can write it on a calendar so that you can remember, or set a reminder so you can remember to do it, right? So you can remember, because you are in that moment the most important person, and the most in what you're doing, the habit is the most important activity you can do. So I want you to just take some thought right now. And what's one big thing that you can do in 10 minutes that makes you feel joy, that makes you feel like yourself? Write it down and protect it. Protect it. Okay? Protect it. Thank you, Ebony. Thank you so much. So let's go on to the next big secret, okay? Well, it's not a secret, but it is an answer. Laugh on purpose. This is my thing. I love to laugh. I love to laugh. I'm a laugher. I love to laugh. Sometimes I laugh at times that I shouldn't laugh things, but I do. So, women who experience joy don't wait to find something that's funny. Helping people. Okay. Okay. That's going back to your 10 minutes, helping people. All right. But women who they find ways to create levity and laughter. You were already laughing. Ebony said she was already laughing. We could be buddies. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Love it. I love that. Um, but this is the thing about laughter and laughing. First of all, laughing lowers cortisol. And cortisol is a stress hormone that stays in our bloodstream when we are experiencing stress. It also, because when we are experiencing ongoing stress, it also contributes to weight gain. So, but laughter lowers cortisol. It also releases endorphins, and which makes us feel good. We feel really good when we release endorphins. Um, and it also, when we're laughing with other people, it strengthens our social bonds. And when we are in community with each other, we're healthier. So there's lots and lots and lots of things that laughter helps with. Lowers cortisol, releases endorphins, and it strengthens our social bonds. If you're a woman over 40, sometimes we lose our playfulness because we have so many responsibilities, and sometimes we just get very serious about everything. And I know, because I've been there. I've been one of those women who love to have fun, love to be playful. And then I got serious about everything. Life got real serious all of a sudden. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you, Ebony. It got real serious. And I felt like I had to be serious. I couldn't um, be as playful. I'm getting that back now. I'm so happy to be getting it back. I am happy to be getting back my playfulness. Women who are happy have a joy playlist, and that includes people, that includes content, that includes experiences that they know are going to make them laugh. I have a colleague at work who is so funny, and I will go into her office and she just makes me laugh. And then I have an opportunity to make her laugh too. And it's just very spontaneous, but it's all through our conversation. It is important for us to laugh. Laughter is the best medicine. It really, really is. So, here's your strategy for laughing on purpose. First, you want to create a physical or a digital list of 3 people who make you laugh. 3 people, just get 3 people who make you laugh. You also want to put together a list of 2 shows, movies, or even podcasts that bring levity to your life. And then you want one physical activity that makes you feel playful, like dancing or walking barefoot or gardening, something that is physical. I am not the best dancer, but believe you me, I will put on some music and I'll do what I can do. I will do what I can do. Old school jamming because it makes me feel good. So build your joy playlist. 3 people who make you laugh, 2 shows, movies, or podcasts that bring levity, and then one physical activity that helps you to feel playful. Then, once you've put together your list, then I want you to schedule one item on that list every week. And not I don't want you to do it when you um, I don't want you to do it only when you feel like it. I want you to do it before you need it. So you want to schedule talking to that person who makes you laugh, or schedule watching that movie or that show or that podcast that makes you laugh, or dancing or gardening or walking. Do one thing from your list at least weekly. I'm going to say at least. I said weekly, but I'm going to say at least weekly. And then I don't want you to think of laughter as a reward for finishing your to do list. I want you to make it a part of your to do list. Put it on your list of critical things to do, critical things to engage in. Laughter is important. When we experience stress, we are always going to have a reason to be serious. That's why it's so important for us to play, because play gives us a reason and an opportunity to experience joy. So, I want to just recap some of the things that we talked about. First of all, I talked about noticing those micro moments that bring you joy. I also talked about protecting, having a habit or a ritual that's protected that you do every day that brings you joy as well. 10 minutes a day that you do every day, right? And then I talked about laughter, because laughter is the best. It is the best medicine for us. It lowers our stress levels. It gets rid of the cortisol that causes us to experience ongoing stress. And it helps us to helps our parasympathetic nervous system to be active. Okay. Whew. So that's it for now. I want to thank you all for being with me. Ebony, thank you. You were a joy to me today. I enjoyed having a conversation with you. I hope this was helpful to you as well as to others. I look forward to seeing you next time on Stress Talk Live. That's all for now. As always, take good care.